see here. Chat is not opening. Here. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's turn this off. So John, how goes it? So yeah, not much going on right now. I don't know if is Pal speaking. Let's see here. I think Pal. Today's gonna be maybe a weird day. So yeah, he speaks at 10. Interesting. So I don't know what that's going to mean, but so that's coming up in a little bit here. So another hour or so. So who knows, huh? Yeah, 10. So I don't know the history of what happens to the market when he starts speaking, but it could be interesting. Yeah, things are very quiet right now. And you look at this, probably means, yeah, dude, I know. It might be just an hour. Because really look at the pre-market. You had a couple of decent sell opportunities at this 807. So there was a GAN basically overnight, but I don't, Yeah, dude, who knows, right? The chair. Some people have probably mapped it out, but there wasn't much, right? So kind of makes sense. A lot of consolidation, but basically just a little down move, down from the one GAN to one GAN. So this 713 level. So order blocks over here on the 30 minutes chart. So who knows, right? Hey, look at that. There's definitely a lot of consolidation up here, and then so yeah, it might be a day of not doing anything. So that happens, right? I mean, not every day is going to be good. Sometimes the best thing to do is do nothing. But we shall see. Yeah, a little bullish moving here on the open here. See what happens. Definitely could have scalped a little bit there. I mean but I just going against these order blocks. But yeah, I mean, a nice play off that 4 hour again there, 7:14 to 7:30. I mean, it's a decent trade idea. I mean, I wouldn't chase it right now, but off the boxes, I gave a good opportunity. Right at the 6.99, but I don't really play the market open per se too often. But that was, let's see here, let's see, I was reading through the triple thread. Yeah, let's see here, going from sell. So yeah, you'll have a higher time frame that will confirm, whether you should be built. Survivors right here. You're getting correct. Yeah, that's just the trend. Yeah. So, the higher time frame is bullish. The volume is, everything when everything's green. So if this was red, and these were checked, that would be a confirmation to for a sell. So you can see it's all green. So these check marks mean that everything is. So you can see that fired off, and that was a great trade, right? I mean, it's just the open stuff, But basically it was just and this is just a 1 minute chart. If you get down to a 30-second chart, sometimes I'm doing a smaller one. But everything is green, and you can see how this box now will start to separate. Where your so initially your stop loss would have been around maybe 674 or 670, and now this box will just trail, right? So if anyone got long, then basically you're just going to trail this thing, because the box is actually doing a pretty good job there off that GAN level. So that's kind of actually pretty cool there. I don't love the open, but if it wasn't for that, I would have been, because you had the everything kind of turning bullish on the oscillators. You had everything pushing above this 4 hour GAN. The boxes. The only thing I didn't love is it's you're going longer into an order block, but as we all know, it can blow through these like nothing. So, but still, is that an A plus? It's not like an A plus setup for me when you're going right into an order block for me. But not that you can't scalp it, right? I mean, these that's why I love these GAN levels, because you could scalp if you're long near the 714. I mean, look at that. That's a good trade, right? It's almost going GAN to GAN in the first 4 minutes. Almost. Look at that. Almost in the first 4 minutes of trading, it's going GAN to GAN. Almost. That's crazy. Right? Yeah, it had a good level. So, wow, that's, that's an awesome So anyway, that's pretty cool, actually. Look at that. Cleared out all those shorts in force. That's why NQ is so crazy. Look at that. All these shorts just wiped out in a matter of 4 minutes. Right? All these guys just wiped out in just the open. It's crazy. You're, oh man, that's brutal. But, that's NQ, man. Straight up. That's why levels are everything, right? I mean, it's just pure price action. There's not many indicators that are going to be like, buy here, right? I mean, there might be some, but most maybe you'd be getting up here, right? If there's like a trend indicator, you're gonna, it's gonna fire off way later than near here. And if you have these, the 4 hour, look at the 1 hour again, and look how it was just kind of testing the 691. So someone could have been really aggressive with that and had their stop. I mean, you did see it kind of blow down here. So, I mean, your stop, that's kind of a long stop. Well, 693 down to, 680-ish, But still, that's someone who was aggressive. That can, with a tight stop, that could work, right? Because everything was turning, bullish there. But then, the boxes, I mean, look where the boxes had you go long, basically at 698. So the boxes had to go long at 698. So look at that. The boxes had to go long before the below the GAN level, and look at it, it's about to hit GAN again. So basically, in the ideal world, you'd be done, right? If you caught this move right here, you're done, because then the Fed comes out and half hour or so, or less than, right? And then, so anyway. So that could have been a day right there, right? Almost GAN'd again, you're done. So, sometimes off the open, those momentum plays are pretty good if you're really, if you're ready for it. Yeah, it just shows you not everything's always going to line up. But for me, it was not, like I said, a top tier A plus, setup for me. But it doesn't always, things aren't always going to do that, right? So. So you can see the volume kind of tapering off, a little bit. Well, this is on the. Let's go back to 1 minute and see how that looks. Yeah, the volume's kind of, but just more of a guide. This dashboard. I mean, obviously, if you're long here, you probably scale off some, and just kind of trailing your stop. You can see the box is doing a pretty good job. Because your stop obviously will be right here, right? In this level here. So I mean, if no one, I didn't catch that, but so right now it's kind of like in no man's land. No reason to chase, and there's no reason to, to sell, right? I think, right? I mean, you could say the order blocks are providing some resistance, but it's nice to have 3 or 4 or more reasons. I mean, but this is a day maybe with the Fed speaking, you just kind of like, man, I don't know what you can do. quiet room today. Makes sense. The market's kind of weird. But like I said, it's pretty cool. GAN to GAN almost. That's pretty awesome, I think. That's I'm sure that at least that's the best play right now, right? But that's a pretty quick. What was it? Like I said, 4 minutes, and that was it. So man, that was quick. So I don't know if you were able to catch any of that, John, or not. Oh yeah, I was watching for that. Yeah, I mean, right, there could be, it's basically hit that 1 hour again, and yeah, there could be some pullbacks, I mean, to scalp between some of these levels here. I think, yeah, we gotta wait 20 minutes or so to see what Powell says. Yeah, I mean, I saw the move too, right? And I didn't, gosh, almost everything was perfect, right? Minus that I don't love the open, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like it was going above the 4 hour again, and there was some good confirmation, right? The boxes were lined up, so there was definitely a reason to go long. I just, sometimes I'm not ready to, yeah, right, the open I just don't love, but that actually, yeah, hindsight, but still, like, that's where I probably should have gone with just a couple of micros, right? And that's the play. Just minimize some risk, and don't miss out on a trade over FOMO. Execute your plan, right? That's why you don't trade big. So if everything lines up, you follow the process, so you're not worried about losing, right? Because that's the other side of it. So yeah, no, yeah, ideally, yeah, it'd be nice if everything always lined up every time, right? But that's just not the case, right? I mean, if you do that, you might only get one trade a week, So, and maybe that's the way to do it if you're that patient, and that's, some people are probably like that. If they're that disciplined that they will literally only do exactly if 3 or 4 things do, and which I'm a little more aggressive. But yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, you're so disciplined that it's like you're just like your own bot, basically, right? These conditions must be met, otherwise, you don't do anything. So, just like right now. I did not catch the open, and now nothing is in alignment with what makes sense for me, right? Like you mentioned, you could maybe do what called pullbacks, maybe, but for me, I missed the entry for the the low risk. For me, anyway. Probability wise, is it likely to get up to test 810? I mean, if you look at overnight, tap the 4 hour, right? So this is right there. It's not far from it. But is that high probability right now to jump in and see if you can scalp up to 809? For some, I'm sure, yeah, for sure, right? I'm sure people are, but I don't love it personally. I'd rather, be at my entry, and then if I miss it, oh well, at least you learn, right? That's the thing for me, just always learning. And I know that if I chase stuff and it comes stings me out, or I just just kind of I don't like it. I'd rather be wrong at my where things line up than try to be wrong. The boxes are still telling you to be. Look at that, it's pretty cool. This box is trailing pretty nice. So it's keeping in this long here. That's pretty cool. So for me, it's kind of just happy seeing the process that really things were good. Long at the scan level, holding till the next scan level, which everything is doing that exact thing that I love to do. Just scanned again. And then hopefully, in a day you get GANed again. You get 2 GANs, and that's perfect. It's a perfect day, I think, on the 4 hour. GANed again on the 1 hour is good, but I love GANed again on the 4 hour, obviously. So yeah, we'll see Powell speaking in about 14 minutes or so. So we'll see. Of course, I have what I would like to see, but I don't like to do that. I like to just trade what's happening. But of course, bias creeps in, so I'm not going to say what I think should happen, but I'm definitely eyeing how these order blocks are going to react, and is it feasible we're going to blow past these order blocks, or is the order blocks going to hold and we're going to come back down? Who knows? I hate to guess too much. You're getting all this basically in consolidation, really, right? This isn't really a trending market right now. So, but if it started blowing up here, right, then you got a nice bullish trend going. But see, look at that, it's getting closer. Yeah, it's getting closer to that 808. Yeah, I love the the 3 things. That's nice to have a few things. I know price action is king and levels, but I love having just multiple things to kind of help you out. And I love these little boxes, man. I love how it just kind of follows it up there, and good entry, and then nice the way it trails. I love that. I am working on the AI signals where it will print a buy. It's just the boxes are so dynamic that the logic of it is kind of tricky, because I don't know, it's just tough because these are really adaptive, and buy and sell signals, I don't know. That's why I don't technically need a buy and sell signal with this, really, because it gives you such a good one with these boxes that it's going to definitely be lagging. The buy might be up here, so whereas your entry's down here off the box. That's what I love about them, is that it gives you way better entries than what a typical indicator would do. They're all lagging, obviously, and this will always lag a little bit too, but it still gives you a really good entry, which is that's all you can ask for, right? Get a good entry, low risk, because you never know. But for me, that's what I like, getting a good entry, so that way, if I know I'm wrong, I can stomach the small loss. But then you look at the risk reward, right? If you're getting in at this box, and this is about your risk, right here. Look at your R&R. That's pretty good, right? That's a really good trade based off the box logic, I think, anyway. I mean, you're getting in at 701, risking 83ish down in this kind of like maybe the swing right here, the swing low here. That's a good trade. But fortunately for me, it was at the open. So if it wasn't for that, I definitely would have done it. I just don't love the open. If it was just like 9 or 10, that would have been like, oh, for sure. I'd definitely risk, 20, 30 ticks off that box. And maybe I should, again, you do a couple micros at the open, so that way, you follow your plan. But again, open plays aren't my favorite. And maybe some people love those. Maybe, I'm sure a lot of aggressive traders that just love those momentum plays and they're done. At least I guess lately, the market's been so tough the first hour. At least for the way I trade, everyone has such a unique style. I'm sure some people right now are killing it, and then as we all know, the market's going to shift and you need to adapt. So it's just that constant adapting, right? And adapting to this hour, the last last week or so, it's been really good later on, or pre-market, but it's hard to adapt to some of these jolting moves. That this wasn't too bad. Obviously, this is just straight up at the open. So obviously, again, open play with the Fed speaking, just a few things were like, I'd rather not, That's why, like, even last night, I love these little micro trends. You catch, there's a double top here at this GAN level, scalp down. I caught this little scalp, and then I hit my target on my account. So for me, I'm done. Because lately the market, during the New York session is not fun. But that actually, like I mentioned, that's solid, everything lined up. So yeah, for my leads and record keeping, that was awesome, honestly. Everything fit the criteria, minus that it was at the open. But I love how it turned out, honestly. GAN level, boxes. But you are going into order blocks, so I don't love that, but you had a lot of good reasons to go long at the open. And look at this. Like how the box just kept you in that long. And it's almost at it's almost GAN to GAN now. That's pretty awesome. I love it. Like, oh man, the GAN levels are awesome. And I also like to, like, these boxes kind of keep you from trying to catch highs, right? At least for me, I don't like just trying to catch the tops. I like to see things build before a sell-off, and then trying to pick tops, trying to get these, perfect. I mean, I know people love to do that. I used to do that, trying to pick tops, and I don't really enjoy doing that anymore. I like to make sure things play out the way I want it, and make sure the momentum is in my, way of the way I trade, instead of, trying to scalp tops. It's hard to do that every day, right? You can do, at least, like, I could have multiple days where I do it, but then all of a sudden it doesn't work, and then your P&L, it's just hard to be very consistent. At least I found to do that way of trading myself. If I'm trying to repeat, find a way to repeat this every day, be boring as possible, then picking these little highs when you think, you can see the price moving where you can scalp a little bit, but can you really do that every day and be consistent? And maybe some people can. I can't pick tops constantly every day and be repetitive and be like a really good scalper that way. How much better waiting for a level, waiting for things to line up, then I execute, versus just kind of randomly. And you can see there, I guarantee you, people are up there kind of scalping the top of that. But for me, I can't repeat that. Like, that's just not a way I can go back to my trade journal and be like, I can't like reproduce that, in that style. At least I can't. Now you could say, well, it came up to 809, and you felt, there's an order block here, so you had a couple reasons why you could have scalped that top, right? So it's feasible to, but we can always, fashion a reason to some degree, right? Like self-fulfilling prophecy. But so yeah, I mean, obviously a little scalp at the top would have worked, but can you do that every day? Right? Like I said, but once you understand levels, and like we all said, I mean, the tricky part with GANs is we all know, I mean, any level can be blown through. We all know that. It's just we're looking at probabilities of what, we're looking at how it holds versus if it's going to push through. And that's where any tool that you use, there's no guarantee of anything, right? Yeah, I mean, basically what I'd be looking at is this 808, right? What's price going to do at this scan level? Is there going to be momentum to push through it to the next scan level, or is it going to reject? So for me, I'm looking at 808 because you get these order blocks over here. So I'm waiting to see if it reacts off this 808. That's honestly my big play. If it doesn't react the way I want, then there is no trade. If things line up where you get a good bar that closes above this level, it makes sense that there's a probability that it will go, at least, not that it always goes GAN to GAN, of course, but I want to see conviction, right? Either way, conviction that this is going to hold to go up to this level, or conviction that the market cannot go above this, and then we go back down to potentially back down to where we were before, 716. So that's how I look at it, John. I just look at them as like zones, areas, point of interest. Not that anything is perfect, but I want to see, like you can see, this is all green, right? This is all green right here. So there is no short right here yet for me. Now if he gets up here after Powell speaks and you get some red candles where I feel like confident, if I can put on a low risk, I can be, if I'm wrong right in this level up here, right, where if I'm okay being wrong, in this level, right. I'm definitely not going to let a full GAN level be wrong, but as tight as I can be, if a short presents itself, I'm okay being wrong. If again things all, like in theory, let's say this comes up, you get some nice dojis near the 4 hour or even the 1 hour, because it doesn't always get to the level you want. But let's just pretend that, whatever it comes up, we get some dojis. And again, sometimes dojis can be continuation dojis. But still, if you find an area that, price is stalling and you get, the boxes line up. Correct. I mean, that's one of the ways I do it. If I'm coming up to a level like this, everything starts to turn bearish, and of course, if the boxes go bearish, then for me that's a good risk reward trade, because I know, like, I can be wrong. Okay, I'm okay being wrong, right? But then there's a good probability that it's going to come right back down to the next scan level if things all line up. I mean, you mean the boxes? I mean, so yeah, boxes you can do. I mean, it's just your preference, right? I mean, obviously, you're just gonna get, you won't get the. I like 30 seconds because you can get sometimes a better entry, but if you want more of a confirmation, then you're gonna be on the 1 minute if you're looking for a short per se, right? And obviously, 1 second gives you crazy, like it's almost too much, right? You're gonna get too many. You could, in theory, go to even 1 second and wait for everything to line up on everything else, so you get like the really good entry. But that's a little crazy for me. Even 15 is a little low. You can see you can see on the 15 it says there's a short here, but obviously nothing's lined up on the bigger charts yet for the short to be valid, in my opinion, right? You can see all this consolidation, so that's not a great short. So if you go to the 30-second chart, which is kind of my, you can see it's even bearish too. So it's telling you to go short, but everything else isn't really, right? Especially when you have Powell, you're going to speak here, there's like what 1 minute away. So we'll see. You can see how it just flipped right down, and that's why I'm more. Look at that. So then it turns bullish. That's why I didn't want to trade right now. Hey Edward, I already hit my target overnight. I don't trade the New York session as much right now because I just don't like it. I caught this double, basically like a double bounce, and I just caught my short here at the, and so this, for me, that was my perfect trade because everything lined up. So hey, what's up? What's going on, JP? So I like trades near GAN levels with everything, like for example, like as you look at this, right? Everything's lining up. Even when I got in, it wasn't always lined up, but yeah, I guess it was close because I got in off this kind of double. So it's kind of like, yeah, I caught right here, caught down. So my entry was about here, and my stop was near this GAN level because the box is obviously flipped as well. So I had 4 or 5 reasons why I liked this short right here. And then I missed this open play because I don't love the open. But if you were on earlier, the boxes told you to go long right here. It's just, yeah, the open is not my, as I mentioned a million times, I don't love it. But yeah, a lot of times I do trade live with my live Tradeify accounts. But lately during the New York Open, I don't, because I just don't love the first hour, honestly, Edward. Otherwise, a lot of times I do trade with my live accounts on here with everybody. But again, I don't trust the first hour lately. So yeah, exactly, dude. I don't like to I'm already up, hit my target. So why would I give it back on the New York chop, right? It's just the chop fest. So I'm on live more right now just to show people how the boxes work. I don't love, the first, maybe I should just come on when I'm going to trade live, but then, that'd be like overnight, and then it'd probably be an hour from now, or maybe, so we'll see. I mean, because we're hitting this order, oops. So yeah, for everyone that knows, like I like multiple reasons. So we got this order block here. Look at, see, it already went GAN to GAN. So, but we're not getting, there's not a reason to short yet, at least for my, we have dojis right here. These are, to me, are like kind of continuation dojis, right? We hit this GAN, the 4-hour GAN level. So, yeah, I'm not saying someone couldn't just, take a low risk trade right here. You could easily go short with your stop, near 827. I mean, but it's let's see what the boxes say on like a 15. So they're still bullish even on a 15-second chart. They're not telling you to short just yet. They're still, it had you go long right here. But yeah, you can see, there's MACD's bearish on a 15-second chart. We'll see if it closes below here. There might be a short, but, and again, at least you're near a GAN level. So if you do short here, then you're not risking a lot for a good, decent. If you're shooting from a GAN to GAN. But again, these first hour of trading has been, so you can see, I'll just do a so how I do it if I was live, but pretending this isn't the first hour of trading, right? So assuming we're at, we have this order block up here, right? the boxes turned bearish. I am okay. Now I guess that's a lot too. That's where the risk is a little bit weird for me. I'd like to be closer to a 4 hour, but again, we're near a 1 hour. So for me, that's about as much risk as I'd be willing to take on a trade like this. That many ticks. Now, ideally, yeah, this would have formed near a 4 hour, but it doesn't always do that. We're right at a 1 hour again. But the boxes have turned bearish. We're near an order block, even though we're at 10. So I wouldn't say this is definitely not an A plus trade for me. This would be like B, it's a B plus, maybe B, the average B. Because again, I love when I'm at a full 4 hour. 4 hour just has more. Obviously, it just has a stronger edge than the 1 hour. But if you're playing low risk, if you're doing your risk right, these kind of trades can work, right? Because the box has turned bearish, and as long as you have your risk right, this is minis, right? So if you have minis, you better have an account that can withstand, $1,000 loss. Now, if you're doing micros, that's likely, maybe $300 or $400, right, that you can lose, and you're okay with it, right? So the numbers are really insignificant because it all depends on the size of the account we have, right? We already know that. So we'll see. Yeah, and then with the Fed speaking, it's weird, right? I'm just saying, if with all things considered, this level would be where I'd short, because the box is turned red near a level of point of interest for me. That's just how I view the GAN levels. Just a zone. This is a point of interest of a level that I find that's worth the risk for me. And again, this could not work out, obviously, right? Because I never really love shorting during right when the Fed speaking, but I guess I was more or less, if this was, everything else was all the same, that's a level of a short I would be interested in taking, where I'd be okay losing. If that makes sense. Because the boxes are still red, right? So risk is in a good spot for me. If I had this size of account, where I don't $1,000, I'm okay being wrong, but I know that if I'm right, this is going to be a good trade, right? But if I'm wrong, then I'm okay. You know what I mean? It's not going to freak me out. So you got some indecision bars over here, and this is only a 5-minute candle, so. But at least you have some wicks here near a level. Now again, anything can happen at any time. But again, you're looking at, so you have some nice candlestick patterns that looks like there's some resistance here. I'm not saying it will, and who knows, these could be continuation dojis, but this is nice to see that the price is having a hard time getting above. Essentially, it didn't even get above. So there's another reason why I like this right here too. Is it didn't even try to get above 815, right? That was a pretty weak. Look at that. It wiped out these weak shorts in 4 minutes basically, and stalled out, and it tapped the 4 hour again and didn't do anything, right? No momentum. Now, I'm not saying it can't all of a sudden get some, but at this time, it didn't do anything, right? So it's okay, why didn't the market get above 816, or even try? It just stopped, basically, right? So that's how I view levels. I want to see how it reacts. Again, it could still, gather up liquidity and go, but for now, and you can see I got it scalped out there, and sometimes these trades you don't always have to stay in forever, but I do like that the box turned red, and there's reasons why there's some resistance here. You also got the order block up here, but again, we'll see. It's just a weird time, right? Because I don't know if Powell's still speaking. He might be speaking for a while, so I definitely don't love trading while the Fed's speaking, right? So that's why I wouldn't. This was more of a kind of a pretend trade in a way, because I don't love, trading during the Fed when there's a Fed speaking. So you can see how it's taking a little bit of heat now, where I was up, but also, like I said, we're not at a 4-hour level right here. We're at a 1 hour. So that's why, to me, it was a B trade, not like, oh man, this is awesome. As you can see now, things flipped. So you could either, if you're aggressive, you'd be like, okay, I'm going back long, but I don't love doing that per se. But with the Fed speaking, it kind of throws everything out of the water a little bit. It's like, so that's why, these days these New York sessions are kind of brutal, right? I don't love flip-flopping per se, but man, so that's where I don't know if how long he speaks or what's the agenda. So I would be on the sidelines personally. I don't like trading right now. I have the premium, so it's kind of like the best of for retail. As you can see, look at that. See, if you're playing off GANs, that's why I didn't really love it. I flipped it just because the boxes were bullish. But, it'd be interesting to see if it can get back up to the 816, right? It tried once. And then with him speaking, is it going to try again to get back up to 816? Are we going to hold this 1 hour GAN level? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't follow me because I'm just, this is just a weird, I don't like this time frame, Oh, no, everything I pay on my own, prop firms don't give me anything. Nothing's given to me. The only slight kickback I get is if someone clicks on my affiliate link, I get like $30. So I have my affiliate links up there besides obviously my Gumroad one, which has these boxes and 6 other indicators. I just have Puridia and Tradeify up there because I know they're legit. Since my story being scanned by UProfit, basically, I only want to promote legitimate groups. So the kickback I get is not like a living, like it's just because I think they're legitimate places to make good trades and you actually get paid out. So yeah, don't go with UProfit. I mean, I know some people go with Apex. I don't love the way they have things lined up. But Blue Sky pays out, Tradeify pays out, and so that's from personal experience. So. But otherwise, yeah, prop firms don't give me anything. So yeah, the boxes had to go long here for a little scalp, right? So we're at 800. Can we get back up to 816? I don't know. Like I said, today's kind of a weird day with the Fed speaking. So, I mean, it's just kind of, just a weird day. Yeah, and I would love a long right into order block, but I was just kind of showing you how the boxes work. The boxes to me are actually pretty awesome. There's a lot of logic into these. You get some really good entries, especially if you're patient on which level you're going at. But I love these boxes because they'll get you a good entry, and then it just helps you trail your trade to maximize it as much as possible. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Can we get back up to 816, 818? It's the bears kind of owned the pre-market, right? And then the right of the market open, it just pretty much destroyed the weak shorts. How I look at it, and now with the Fed speaking, I don't know. Like, is the market kind of in indecision mode? Because I mean, this is not the momentum, right? That was a pretty weak attempt, it hasn't even got back up to 816, right? I mean, if you go, it double topped here basically, and yeah, so it might try to get back up to, I mean, I don't predict, but it'd be nice to see if it gets back to 816, you know. And the boxes are doing pretty good, right? Got you in, even though we're facing some resistance, but as you can see, you can scalp there a little bit, right? So if you're in a funded account, you can use these boxes to scalp. Like, you don't always have to hold, especially this kind of day, right? If you're up $600-700 or whatever, if you're doing micros or whatever, I mean, look how good it is, right? Got you in. Now, can we get above 816? I don't know. Like, it went there just not too long ago. We're at 8.7. So for me, this is an awesome trade, right? Up $900 ish. That's why I love trading, right? So pre-market, I'll wait for confirmation, use my boxes, and you don't even have to, you don't have to go with my plan. It's only, I mean, it's like $47 a month, but you don't obviously need these. I love GAN levels. So with the plan, you get, and you can draw these GAN levels all you want, right? I can teach, if no one wants to pay the $47 a month, I don't care. Like, sorry, I'll teach you guys how, teach you how to draw these lines. I just like it how it automatically does it for you, because I'm lazy kind of a little bit. I like how it just does it for you. I mean, you can certainly, get the GAN square 144 and draw them out. It's not hard. It's like 3 minutes, right? But I love having, so now I can plot multiple GAN lines instantly, right, on the fly. And sometimes I'll adjust it. So maybe I want more data points than a 1 hour. So like these blue ones are 1 hour. And so because I like 1 hour and 4 hour. But sometimes the market is just a little tricky, so I'll just move it down to like 15 minutes. Now, then see, there you go. It gives you a lot of data points. But if you, if you're on like a 1 minute chart, so if we go down to a 1 minute chart, then you can see how you have some levels to play off of. A little more, it can give you a lot of data points. But if you're really into scalping, it gives you some really good levels to scalp, right? So that's why I had a programmer do this, so I can scalp levels. But again, if no one wants to pay, I totally get it. If no one wants to pay the $47 a month, I'll be more than happy to jump on a screen share with you personally. Seriously, anyone. I just want to teach people how to trade. So, and be profitable. I'd love you to support my channel, but if someone doesn't want to pay $47 a month, I get that. I mean, if that's too much for somebody, I will honestly get on a call with them, show them everything I do. If you don't want these boxes, I'll give you what I consider the best, and this is I'll give you the best order blocks. Like for me, it's helped growing people to be traders, right? But I'd love people to support me. But at the same time, if someone wants to learn to trade levels, I mean, no worries, right? I mean, to me, it's about spreading the knowledge of how to be a profitable trader. And I love levels. So I just created this box system just to give me a more visual context of how to get entries. And then, so you can see what I love about this now. Again, you're on this... if you're in this trade, right, this is your stop loss right here, right? So you're just trailing it. So I love these boxes, honestly. Just kind of gives you a little roadmap. Of course, you don't need it, right? I mean, all of us could just trade on pure price, right? Why have any, why have any indicator, right? If you're a professional trader, you don't need anything. But for me, I like visuals. I'm a visual person. And so I like to see, so if I come down here, if I'm really aggressive, I'll put this out like at a 5 second, so look at this. So on a 5 second, you can move your stop maybe a little bit tighter. So now you're locking in $600 now, right? So now if this goes against you, you're up $600. If you keep, now let's see where we are here. Price, see, look at, still price, See how it struggled? It couldn't even get to 816, right? So you can see how that scalp long, you gotta take your profit, because it just, it pressed, it got up to 814. Look at that. So you basically have a double top right now. And again, I'm not saying it can't blow through it eventually, but right now it's struggling to get above 816 for whatever reason. I don't know the whys. All I know is this level right here, right? 816. And if you go back to overnight, right? So I'm always like, I care about what happens overnight because it does matter, right? Overnight, look at this. I mean, it's amazing. Overnight, see, we've been at 817 is a key level, right? Look at that. It blocked it right there, came down, tested this 745, could not even get close to 816, kind of blew through this 4-hour again, sort of, barely, but then it snapped right back up. Again, it could not get even close to 815, came back. So this, what's turned out to be, is this 747 was a key level, right? So anyway, let me get, so the boxes are great for risk management, though. I mean, for risk management is the ultimate, right? That's the only thing we have as traders, right? It's not our P&L or anything. You're right. I like that, JP. You're right. So see, with the double top on the 4-hour, you go bearish on 30 seconds. Would you call that A plus? So let's see here. So if it wasn't the Fed speaking, so if I get a double top, and I would not stay on the 30-second chart, no. My primary thing on my entry is the GAN. So if I see it and I like it more of like a 5-minute chart, honestly, on my main chart. And then obviously I like 1 hour, 15 minutes is just too much. A lot of times I even turn that off because I really care more about the 4-hour than I do anything. I'll turn on the 1 hour. If things are just not getting to the level I like, then I turn on the 1 hour. Because like right now, like it's struggling to get to 816, right? So that's why I do like the 1 hour maybe today, because look, it's just not getting, right? Twice it tried to get up to 816 and failed. So now we're kind of in this limbo land. So yeah, obviously the 30-second is still bullish. Well, I lost track there because I was looking over here. But yeah, John, so for me, 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart, but 5-minute ideally, I want to see, some reasons why this is going to stop here, right? Is it going to be a double top? Is it going to be indecision? Are the oscillators turning? So you can see this is all still green, right? Look at that, it's all green. So there's no, you have some wicks, but it's still all green, right? This is all green. The only thing we have going for us, if you're a bear, is that you have this massive order block over here. But again, this is not enough reason for me to love to short this, right? And you can see, look at that. Look at the boxes had to go back long at 800, and it's getting right. So now we're at the top of the now we're at the 4-hour, not the top. We're at the 4-hour again, right? So it's kind of like I said, these New York sessions are just kind of, look at that price action, right? It's just kind of pretty wonky. But if you maintain overall, like this is all for execution, right? I don't trade off the boxes until I'm zeroed in over here, right? This is where like I'm focusing my energy. Where is it going to react on these big levels? Then I use the boxes for execution. If that makes sense. That's how I like to do it. So for me, I want to see, is it going to hold is it going to hold this? I mean, it's kind of weird. It's right at that GAN level. So right now, this is not a time for me to short or go long because it's just, to me, it's not giving an indication of anything yet. And that's where GAN isn't perfect. I mean, nothing is ever X, plus Y equals, right? Because nothing's ever perfect in trading, right? you can't always say, oh, it's going to reject, it comes up to this, it's going to come down. Well, yeah, you can get some dojis and it can still explode, but that's why you play off probabilities. And if you've watched GAN enough, you'll know and learn how to play these levels, right? So you can see it's kind of rejecting off a little bit. So I guarantee you, there's people shorting this right now, right? I'm not saying to do it, but for me, if these turn bearish, then I'd be okay with my risk being wrong. If I'm wrong about right here. If again, this isn't ideal. This is definitely not A+ because there's nothing red yet, right? This is all green. But I'm just saying, if you felt like this level is, like I just love levels. As you can see, it's kind of bouncing here, and it might just press right through, right? Could easily. Just trying to, yeah. Let's see. You see how it kind of just blew through that? You have some dojis right here, but yeah, I'd like to see, and then look at even the oscillators aren't even bearish yet, and even the boxes. So that's the cool thing about this. It would have actually had me avoid that short because the boxes were bullish. So, to me, that's why I love these boxes, right? You wouldn't try to catch a top right there, as I call it, because the boxes were actually telling you to still be bullish. Even though, we're at an order block, it is kind of holding. We actually finally broke through 816. So, yeah, interesting. But you can see it's still, look at that, it's kind of rejected. Now it's back, it's just right at that GAN level again. But you can see this, the boxes are still bullish right now. So I don't like to trade against the boxes personally. Yeah, exactly. That 1 hour again, exactly. There was a nice little, exactly. I even did that yesterday where I used the 1 hour to get in kind of like a pullback. You're right. That actually, the 785 was a good long, and if you go off the boxes, I'm pretty sure it gave you a pretty good chance to go along there from GAN to GAN, kind of a small GAN to GAN. Because before, what I'd be doing, I'd go off my, oh man, the market's just going to stall here, right? So you start shorting. Yeah, and you can do that. It's just you want to find something that you can, be more systematic about it, right? So even if you are biased bearish here, let's say you are. I'm not saying you should be, but if you're waiting to short, well, then ideally you're waiting for multiple things. You're waiting for a really good, hopefully a red candle on the 5 minute. The boxes need to turn bearish, and then even on your bigger time frame on the 30 minute, it'd be nice to see a doji or something. Because right now this candle is like, these two candles are still green, even though we're going into order block. Right? Everything is still technically green. So for all we know, this is going to keep going straight up right now. Like, you just have to just assume that it's just going to go up and not try to catch these tops, right? Because we know NQ will just punish you, right? If you're just trying to catch tops, it just punishes you over and over again. It's mean if you're trying to fight that, right? It's never fun fighting these. It's better to, either not do anything or find these little pullbacks on these levels than try to fight these tops. Even though, yeah, they can be exotic and you can get in and get scalp. It's just not sustainable, I don't think, to be a trader every day trying to scalp these tops. Look at it. So I guarantee you people are like, oh, it's pausing, but they're not aware that this GAN level just got pushed through here, right? So you can see that was a tough GAN level to go. The long would have been 873, but you can see that's why it's not, it's just a tougher day, right? It doesn't always line up like this. Like, I love more of these kind of trades where it's at the, these kind, when it's at these, when it's pressing the highs, that's where it can be a little tougher, but at least So if you went long, at that GAN, again, look where your stop would be, right? Your stop would be in this range right here, right? So the biggest thing is you know where to be wrong is the biggest key. That's why I like GAN levels. As you use them daily, the biggest thing is where are you going to be wrong, right? It's easy to have a bias, but at the same time, I want to know where I'm wrong more than than I'm right, because this is almost turning out to be a GAN to GAN almost. Could be, because we're at it was 817, now it's 840. So this could be another. So look at that. So you have almost GAN to GAN, GAN to GAN, almost, right? I love double GANs on the 4 hour. That's why shorting this doesn't make sense for me anyway. But yeah, I mean I'm trying to get where it will give you good entries off GANs, John. I'm trying to get that logic built in, so it just gives you it helps you trade the GAN levels. But as you know, price is so dynamic with NQ. It's the logic. I am working on it for sure to try to make it to make the GAN levels easier to trade visually, because we all know it's I'm not saying levels are easy, but for me it gives me a better roadmap than most indicators like EMAs, right? We all know if you use an EMA system, how often during the first hour are EMAs just getting sliced to pieces. And then later in the day or whatever, then it starts trending, and then you look back, you're like, oh man, I should just be an EMA trader. Look how it just it's just so smooth, right? But then right, so every system, anything you use is going to be right until it's wrong, right? The boxes, right, are awesome until the price action just goes crazy, and then it looks like garbage. So any indicator looks good until it doesn't, right? We all know that, right? It's just the way it works. Order blocks can be awesome until all of a sudden something happens and that order block becomes obsolete, right? So that's why, for me, levels are basically a pure price action. So, and that's why I love 4 hour GAN levels, because the big traders use 4 hour levels for a lot of their ideas that they're doing, Just look at it, all green. So and that's where NQ is tricky, because you get some indecision bars, but these are really, like I mentioned, continuation dojis, and they weren't even red. So, like you mentioned, there was a good reason probably to go long at 784, right? And it can be hard. I mean, but again, as you start trading GAN levels, when they push through, you have confidence. Like you get into that system mode where you're just used to it. And it's just like anything else. It's just a tool, right? But you have to, work at it, and it gets easier as you do it. Minus the first hour. Like, I don't know who. Any system right now in the New York session. I don't know. Like, I love all these ads on YouTube or Facebook that talk about how it's just right. I don't know any indicator that can trade this open session, right? I don't know. I could be wrong. So he goes away for the pop, then pullback usually happens, and the buy into the pullback just below the GAN. That's how exactly. Thanks, JP. Exactly. That's how I look at it too, right? Pullbacks are. That's why these levels. That's why I like the 1 hour, right? Because it gives you another data point to give you a level to go with the boxes. So you can see how the boxes turn bearish, but on your main idea over here, we're in between the GAN level, right? We're right now at 837. Well, you could short here, but then your stop's going to be way up at 870. I don't like that, I'm not a fan of that short myself. I mean, I don't like just shorting just because. I don't short just because it's at a GAN level, obviously, right? That's why I took a short here, but it was more just to show you an example of if everything lined up, I would short at this level and okay being wrong. So I was wrong. But again, nothing lined up. I mean, look at all this is green. So there was really no reason to short that. I was just more doing that to show you as an example of what if things did line up to short there. and then having your stop in the right spot, right? So anyway, that's how I I love GAN so much. When you're wrong, you're small. Your losses are pretty small. But when you're right, a lot of times you're going to get GAN to GAN, or in this case, you're going to go GAN to GAN. It's like when you're right, you're going to get multiple GAN levels, and then, like I said, when you're wrong, you're not even wrong a quarter of a GAN, right? Just a percentage of it. So your risk is always way smaller than your reward, always, right? That's how I look at it. So yeah, we're just kind of in this limbo land, right? So if I was entering long, I mean, I wouldn't enter long here because we already missed it, right? We'd be chasing. But you're correct. I mean, if, let's say the box is turned bullish, I definitely would have my stop, just below the GAN level if I was going to long here, but I wouldn't. To me, this is a chasing trade. And as you can see, the box is actually turned bearish. So I actually be more inclined to short this, even though we're in limbo land per se. And this could burn me. This will show you example. So if I'm actually going to short this, I'd probably have my stop near this 1 hour GAN level, right? And again, we're not getting full confirmation to short this. I'm just shorting it because the box has told me to. But the 5 minute, I would have loved to see more of a doji or indecision on the 5 minute first, then to have the boxes turn bearish. And of course, even on the order blocks, I'd love to see the 30 minute give me more. So in theory, ideally you'd probably wait like a half hour or like till 11 o'clock. But I was playing off the boxes. The boxes are saying short this now. And the fact that, the reason why I like a short there sort of is that we never really got a strong push that really like solidified that 8.15 is that great. Like it still could go, right? And it just hasn't showed me yet that things are just, going to be just an awesome bullish day. But I mean, with the Fed speaking, who knows, right? I mean, for now the boxes, turn red. So in this kind of trade, I'd be, really, I probably wouldn't even have that much risk. I'd probably be moving it down to this level here. So if I'm wrong, and like I said, it might even come get me out because this was not even an ideal short. It's just kind of showing you the boxes did turn. I could have scalped out actually at a profit. But I'm just more interested in seeing how this order block is going to hold, and this price going to hold this 8.17 level. So really the best short, honestly, is probably waiting till 11 to see what this what the higher time frame is going to do, and then seeing what the boxes are going to give you, and also so you're waiting for all three, and then the boxes are kind of like usually the execution aspect of it, right? Because even right now it's telling you to go long, but we're longing into an order box, and price is just kind of stalling a little bit, right? So it's just and see now that the boxes actually might turn bearish here in a second. So that's where ideally it's almost probably good to wait, for the 30-minute candle, or even change this to a 15. We could go to a 15-minute candle. So in this case, it's actually more bullish. So that's where trading can get, you can get almost like paralysis, right? You get so much information. You're like, well, this 15-minute looks bullish. So that's kind of why I like to be on a higher time frame on the order blocks, even 1 hour, right? I like to see, where the resistance is on a higher time frame. So definitely not an ideal short. I just shorted because the box has told me to, and again, that wasn't like an amazing way to do it. I'd really like to see the 5 minute give me more of a stronger indication to short this, for example. But it is all about risk. So if you're, for me, if I'm playing off the boxes and I can do a low risk trade, then, that's trading for me. Like the boxes went bearish, right? And there was some resistance. So there was resistance at these order blocks. And again, the market, really, we're still kind of in that 8.17 zone, as I'd call it. We never even got close really to the 4 hour, to the next level of GAN, right? It could go, now it's starting to, but. And again, I don't know how long the Fed speaks, so it's like, this is just a weird day. Like, I don't know. And as I mentioned, this time frame is just kind of brutal, right? You're just not getting any clear trends. I mean, really the best trade, honestly, was at the open, and hopefully you're done. Since then, it's been kind of choppy and not very great, honestly. So, I know it kind of sucks for U.S. traders. We wake up and we miss, I mean, I do trade live, but again, I have everything correlated on the bigger stuff. So yeah, I do trade live with the 5 seconds, but I don't take every buy and sell in the 5 second. Again, when I went short earlier, when I made my target, everything lined up for me to short this, right? So this is an A+ trade for me right here. You get kind of a double bounce off this 4 hour, even though the second time didn't even get close to that. It gave me confidence that the price was not getting above 819, in the night session. And then you can see this is just straight up. So again, look at that. There's not really a reason to short, right? Like I did there, even though the boxes told me to, because this is not, the boxes are for only when you're ready to take a position on, right? It's not like, it's more of an entry system than it is like, telling you what to do. This is your guide, right? These two are your guides, and the boxes are just the way you enter the market. That's how I look at it. Because look at this. There's not really good reason to short this just yet, right? But as you can see, you had some chop here, and then it's just kind of, it's just weird action, right? But yeah, I use the boxes. I wouldn't publish them. I wouldn't have people use them it's helped me. It's helped me be a way better trader, honestly. And I would take them down. Like I took down the AI signals because they weren't reliable enough, and that's why I'm working on them, because I don't want anything, in my indicator list that isn't reliable, But you're right, you can't trade off the 5 second boxes. Now, I'll do it for fun and demo to show people how they work. But yeah, you can't trade off the 5 second boxes alone. It won't work. There's just no way to do that. You have to have everything else, confirming. Then you use the boxes for your entry and to manage your risk and to manage your trade. So it's more of like a trade manager and an entry once you have your trade idea set. So like it's telling you to go long here, but if you do that, you're chasing, right? So if I go long here, as you'll see, and it might work, but I wouldn't do it. I'm not telling people to go long here. The boxes are telling you to go long here, but the only thing you have going for you on this trade is that, at 5 minutes, everything is green. And yeah, the Fed's speaking. So, I don't know. That's weird, right? So I don't know when he's done. So that's, for me, I don't know the markets. I don't know. So you can see the boxes can be good, but for me, that's more of a chasing trade. But at least you do have, the momentum is still, stronger, going up right now, at least for now anyway. That's why I do love the boxes though. Like, they're not like anything magic, minus I love the logic of how they kind of help you manage the trade. That's what I love about them. So you can see how that long isn't going to work probably, because the market is in this weird, weird kind of, I'd love to see, I'd love to see it hold the level, and then, like I said, in about 15 minutes, at 11, to see if you can get a good long or a good short. But ideally, you'd be done. The boxes had you buy at 698, 699, and then the open happened, and the momentum play was kind of the trade of the day for low risk. Fighting this chop is just it's tough. So I don't know. I don't. Again, I probably should just come on an hour after they open, because trading during the open can make almost anyone look like they didn't know what the hell they're doing. It's like you just get chopped around, and it's like, okay, yeah, I suck at this. But you wait. As you know, if you wait, your opportunities will come. You just have to get past the garbage time. So obviously that long was working, but it was just choppy, right? So we're getting closer to this. We're 20 points from this, going from, if you were long from the open, look at that, GAN to GAN, and now almost another GAN level. I mean, and look, all green. So you can see, I'm sure a lot of people were trying to short this, and there really wasn't a good reason besides these order blocks. That's not really good enough. Look at that. It's just pressing. I mean, to me, that's beautiful. I mean, look at the boxes that had you stay long, right? But it's tricky because NQ just fakes you out, right? A lot of fake outs, and it can mess with you, right? NQ that's why we love it, and we also hate it, right? You can be right and wrong with it all day long, but because it toyed with us at 817, and then it pushes up to almost the next GAN level. So NQ is look at this, and then right, people chase it, and then all of a sudden it pulls back so brutal. I mean, look at that. So it's tough. This time frame is brutal. But again, I don't know how. I don't have like a history of the Fed speaking, what that does to the market. All I know is it just makes it tricky, because it's just these little jolting moves that are just not that right. Like it just messes with you, and then it does what it wants, right? I mean, look at that. There's a lot of fake outs, and then all of a sudden you get this massive candle move up, right? So today is kind of like more of a watching day, honestly, personally, and that's good, right? It's good to learn how to trade these levels even on a tricky day. So then the next time, like you'll learn. Okay, I'm going to take this off the 1 hour, and you can scout these levels. Because that's how I watched these. Blue Sky. I watched Mike for hours using these GAN levels, and it's awesome. That's why I adopted it, because I watched you watch the pros do it, and these 4-hour GAN lines are just amazing as long as you're patient with it. And it's like anything, you just have to practice with it. And that's what I love about it too. It's free. I mean, I paid a programmer to plot them because I like them so much, but you certainly don't have to use mine. Like you can draw them yourself. I mean, it's very easy. So that's what I love about it. Again, I'll jump on any call with anybody if anybody wants to know how to do it, or if I already have videos on how to plot them. So you certainly don't have to support my channel at all. Like I just love teaching how they work. And I know they can be a little tricky, but trading is tricky. Like if it was that easy, then right, we all know that. It's like one of the hardest things in the world to do. Hence, right, why I show up every day, and you just have to show up every day and try your best, because it's one of the hardest things to do. And yeah, we already know that, right? How many people, we know the stats, right? Most people can't make it. But I think it's not always as easy as, like they say, 95% fail. I'd like to know the stats of the people that, if you leverage right. Okay, number one, you have a good system. You don't gamble. You don't over leverage. Like you treat it like a business. I'd love to know the stats on that. Like how many people just quit, but that actually do it the right way. Not all the people that jump in, go full lot, go full, full tilt, and just pass an eval in 2 seconds. Now they're like, oh man, I have a funded account. I'm a real trader. Like, well, not really. You know what I mean? Like, until you're growing an account, until you learn how to take losses, right? You're not a trader, right? Anyone can do a full lot on an eval. Like, I passed 30 evals. So that doesn't mean anything, right? Nothing. It's, can you grow it, systematically? And that's the grind, because when you're down, you have to get back and just start chipping away, right? And look at this. See, it's starting to tap this, right? 4-hour GAN level again, right? All green. No reason to short this, right? So that's what in Q, the strike, it just kind of jabs up. It's just a weird, it's a tough day. Because you can be right? You could have easily gone long. Let's say you went long right at 845, and then all of a sudden it pulls back all the way down to 825. For someone on big minis, that took them out. They were right but wrong, right? We all know that. So with NQ, you cannot be aggressive with it unless you really dial in your entries, and then you can size up. But if you don't know your entries, sizing up will just destroy you, right? And we know that for 100. That's the obvious. So yeah. Sorry for that diatribe there, but I've seen so many people on the eval cycle. It's just so easy to get funded right now. But then, really, the name of the game, can you grow it? Get past that eval cycle, get the account, but then slow it way down, right? Go from the rush mode to slow mode, right? Get rich slow, right? Dial it back. I use AI for just even I'll talk to it. It was I know it's real, but go ahead. So either when I asked about going long, if I can pull back. So earlier when I asked about going long. So I'm trying to follow that. So you said earlier you asked about going long. What I was saying was that we were clearing 815, but we were having a pullback that wasn't turning the boxes bearish on the 30-second. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to remember that time frame. So you're saying the boxes didn't give us a good entry? Sorry. I'm trying to understand what your question is. So you're saying the boxes didn't help you in that circumstance? That's one thing too. But you can turn these. All I like about the boxes is we actually could go back into replay mode and replay what you just said, and right, we could actually. Okay, cool. Yes, you certainly, what you could do is obviously go to a regular candle and go back and replay it. That's what I love about the way I coded it. Because we all know HA, you can't. I just like HA because Heikinashi, because it shows it smoother. But we all know you can't go back in time and see it. Earlier I asked about going long, and you said, yeah. And I guess I was noticing that all some of this indecision, but in reality, right, this is all bullish. So even I get this turned out to be, it felt like it was bearish because of all this kind of choppiness, and that's where it can fake you out. But if you look, really, there was no bearish candle. There was no engulfing candles or anything, even on the 5-minute, right? So correct. I kind of felt like these wicks were bearish, and they kind of were. Price was stalling at 817, but as you can see. The reality is these were continuation dojis. So yeah, it's tough. That's why this is where GAN levels can be a little tricky, especially. And again, this time frame is tricky, right? That's where I don't love this time frame. Earlier on, it just gives you way better entries. Like this, to me, when it's pushing against the GAN level and it's just choppy, it's just hard, right? So this time frame is so difficult to trade. So you can fake out the best of people, honestly. You know what I mean? But if you look at this, right, this is all green, right? All green, yeah. So no, yeah, definitely not A+, right? Even to go long was not A+. All this would be B or C for sure, right? A plus for me is a good rejection off a level, everything lining up here, everything lining up here, and then the entry. So all this was nothing great. That's why I was taking some trades, but nothing that I was like, oh man, like yesterday when we were live, and I was like I was all excited because like I love it when it all lines up and you just know it, right? It makes sense. This is just all kind of really difficult. Is it clear left now? Yep, that's I think you're right on there. It's your logic, the way the trade began in the boxes, John. You're right. I mean, honestly, you're thinking very clear there. So, kudos to you for that, for sure. That was the way you were doing it. Actually, is the correct way. So yeah, so even for me, like it's hard because like you see the order block sitting up here. So that's why order blocks are tricky too. Like everything's tricky in trading. Everything can be tricky in thinking that you should be bearish, right? Because you're sitting here, price is stalling. You have an order block over here. It's so easy to kind of like trick yourself too, right? Instead of really being dialed in to just playing the levels. So that's why order blocks, anyway. But yeah, that's where, this is, right? You all learn, right? I mean, I love the way you're thinking, though. That's right there. That pullback, like you said, at 8:15 was really of course, looking back, but yeah, there was no reason to short this. Like I said, there are no A plus trades in this level at all, right? And especially with the Fed speaking. So, but yeah, that's why I know I need to get on here, not during the New Yorks. This first hour, I don't know why I bother. It's just when we're all up and we're trading, but it's almost like a time not to do anything. I know that's where, you can talk yourself out of stuff, and that's where, you just have to really be patient and, and not go full throttle, and just when you have, because we're all going to eventually see it wrong, right? Eventually, if you look at the chart long enough, you'll start seeing something you want to see, right? Exactly. Our minds will trick us, right? We'll start seeing what we want to see, and then the market will start punishing us because it's not doing what we wanted it to see, and then that's where we get into that tilt, because our brains get tricked into that. And that's where I try to just trade pure off levels as I can, but as you know, it's still tricky. Like it's hard when it's pushing against the GAN and it's just bouncing. So I'm not saying, but a lot of times though, you'll get a nice rejection off a GAN level and it's just way clearer. So that's the nice thing about it. Yes, there are tricky days where you get faked out, but there's also awesome days where it's clear. It's just easy too. So that's where you just take your couple lumps. Then on those days where things line up, like yesterday, it was just awesome. So like yesterday, honestly, was an awesome, right near, I think it was about 15 minutes after the open, where everything was just crystal clear on what to do. Whereas today, you have days where, at least the way I trade, you're gonna have days where things don't line up, and that's where, when things don't line up, either you trade small or you just don't do anything at all. And that's just, I think that's part of the evolution of a trader, right? Is the feeling that we have to trade. And I've had to go through that. Like, it sucks sometimes not doing anything, right? Just watching is painful, right? Because we're not making money, right? This is what we do for a living, right? We got to be making money. Well, that's the hard part, right? We know that. Sitting on our hands almost is probably tougher than anything. Like taking a loss, like at least you're engaged in the market, but sitting and doing nothing, I think we're built to kind of do stuff. So just sitting and waiting is like kind of a weird way to live. So yeah, look at this. It tapped the 8. And that's what's so brutal about NQ too, is see, boxes just went, I know. So you just went from GAN to GAN, like kind of like choppy, right? Choppy, hits that 4-hour GAN, freaking rejects off of it. So like it can be like today is tough, right? Like unless you were sitting waiting, if you're like, okay, I'm going to wait for this GAN level, and then it turns bearish. But that's only 2 reasons, right? Now we finally get a red. So look at that. How long has it been since we've seen anything red? That's a long time, right? Look at that. It's been, and this still might turn green, obviously, but we've had from a red candle on a 5-minute chart. Look at that. That's a long time to be sitting and waiting to short something. And if you've been trying to short it, it just would slowly jab you. It's like you're right, wrong. It's like, so you're fighting this kind of bullish move because it gave you opportunity to short, but then it stab you, like, right? Because like there's people that are shorting, right, and they get stabbed. So even that, like if you're chasing that short, it's tough, right? At least now you're getting some movement against a GAN level, but I want to see. Okay, so now we're finally getting to 11, and what's this candle going to do? Yeah, so we're bearish in the boxes, but again, that's just for entry. We're still green over here, and then this candle. So we're getting a MACD starting to turn, but yeah, I'm not loving a short just yet. We'll see though. The boxes are bearish, so the boxes did pretty good there, but still, yeah, for me, I need more confirmation to go short. I'd like to see if it can get back up here. And I don't know if the Fed's done speaking. Does he speak for an hour? Like, it'd be nice to know, I guess this stuff I just don't have access to. I don't know how long, like, what's he saying? But yeah, it's rejecting off that 869 so far. So it's almost going to go from GAN to GAN here. Almost. But still have to wait a little bit. So we're on the, so we go to 1 minute. Oh, you mean for the boxes? Yeah, so we go to the boxes. Yeah, so you're right. Well, I guess it's barely bearish on the 1 minute. But not a strong, like it kind of came down and sort of tapped it to turn it bearish, but it's not like a great it's not a great short, right? It's, again, this session is pretty tricky because like it just merrily goes up here, taps, and then jolts down. So it's like it's so hard to get an entry, right? If I was on a 1 minute, finally you get, so if you're going to go back in time here, if you go, yeah, it's 817, nice bullish move, then you get a nice little pullback kind of, and then finally you get some indecision dojis near this GAN. So I guarantee you, like, that's a good, if you're waiting, but man, and like I mentioned, like it went up here and it just came down so quick. It's sometimes really tough to get those entries. But you did have, this turning, the MACD. So you had some confidence that this short could scalp because the MACD turned on the 1 minute, and the lazy bear was kind of lagging. And then obviously we're red up here, so this order block is kind of not very helpful. Like if you're trading off order blocks, you almost want to see price. I don't know why I did that. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. So you almost want to see price stay below 700. Like if you're an order block trader, like you're almost not going to short anything until it gets below 700, right? So for a lot of people, they're not even looking at shorts until even more confirmation that the market's going to sell off. But look at so now everything's bearish a little bit. So is this chase the short now? The entry, that's where Yankee is pretty tough. But the boxes did turn. So if you chase it, I don't love it, but let's just say for a risk standpoint, add a stop. So you have your stop above the box-ish. And I'm not saying to short this or anything, but just playing off the boxes. Definitely going to take a little bit of heat when you're chasing a little bit. So we'll see. We shall see how this plays out. Yeah, but the Fed's speaking. It might be tough. The shorts might just be a bullet a day. You know, could be. And now the boxes are turning to turn bullish here, probably. We'll see. We shall see. Sorry, I don't really love chasing, but you know, I was curious to see if that box was going to hold. So yeah, this might not work, but that's why I said don't follow me. I was just curious on the box, but we'll see. I really love. You know, ideally, it'd be nice to see it hit, you know, 868, and then get, you know, confluence, right? This definitely is a chasing type of trade, which I don't love, but I like to definitely be trading near GAN levels for my A plus. Like this is definitely not A plus short by any means. I like to be, you know, near a GAN level for an entry, you know. But it just didn't give us. It came up here and just came down so fast that it didn't give me a good entry, you know. So hence why I chased it a little bit, because it just didn't. For me, it didn't line up. Yeah, just more interesting on this order block. If right, really we have, like I said, I mean, really to short this thing, ideally you want to see the market down at 700. Really to be that more confident on a short. You know, shorting up here is tough because, you know, the bulls kind of own this right now. But if we get under, you know, 700, that's where, you know, where things could get really interesting. So that's a long ways away, right? I mean, we're at 840, so like these shorts to me aren't what I'd call amazing. Even though the box turned red, obviously it's on like a 1 minute chart. You know, if we get this over to a like 30 seconds, Yeah, still looking pretty decent for a bear, or a short. But yeah, technically, if you go by, yeah, again, order blocks, yeah, you definitely would want to be under that level. How I look at it, to like be really confident that this thing could, really cruise. Because, you've already seen it, yeah, it came up to this 870, right? So it easily could come back up to that. But, it came up and tapped it and didn't really do much with it. It just came up and rejected it. Hence why it was so tough to get an entry there. I love, double tops are nice, even on the 1 minute. It's tough to get sometimes, right? Hits a level and then just rejects it. You're not always going to get the best entry, right? Unless people, like I said, people that pick tops. But I think that's, like I mentioned, how can you do that every day and be profitable, right? You can be right, a few times, but it's just hard to do. But if you're waiting for that GAN level and everything to line up, someone, that definitely could have been a good short, obviously, a good entry. It's just it happened so fast, right? And the way it was just kind of jabbing up, and then it taps it, and then just flies off of it. I mean, it's like, okay, well. So we'll see if the box is on the 32nd. Yeah, head and shoulders, right? Yeah, I mean, right? Patterns, all patterns can be evaluated. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely aware of, flags, head and shoulder patterns. But you're right. You could definitely see that. I mean, it's feasible that could be a head and shoulders for sure. I definitely take that into account as you're looking at the way it plays off the GANs. Yeah, for sure. I love any good pattern to give you confluence at a level, right? For sure, that can definitely help. But we all know patterns can change in a flash, right? But yeah, I definitely think they can help. It's like the slowest short in history. This is like, oh man, oh, this is funny. Like, I know you. I mean, I definitely like, if this works, I like to use this as the target to take some off. So if you have like 5, whatever you have, if you have 3 like I do, or if you have, ideally I like 5 to 10 micros. So then I'll definitely use GAN levels for targets to take some off. And then, then I move my, stop. Yeah, so yeah, I use GAN levels for, tape profits for sure. I wouldn't necessarily take all, depending on the day, right? Like today, if we can get back down to 817, I definitely would take some off, right? Because today is just a weird day. Or, I mean, if you're an aggressive trader and you're trying to get like even more, for sure, you're going to, once you're down, if the price does get back down to 817, obviously you're moving your stop, right? And then either you're going to go full and keep your lots for a full trade. But I do like using GANs for take profit for sure, because we know that from history, likely it's going to pause. I mean, unless something crazy happens, likely it's going to pause. If it does go down, it's going to pause at 817. I mean, who knows, right? I can't predict. But if this comes back to 817, you'd think it's going to do something. But we'll see. It might not come back down. I mean, I don't know. This price action is interesting. The second you think you got a good thing going, then starting to bounce back up a little bit, but So yeah, that's where I'm going to move my risk down to the box. So if I'm wrong, right, I'm okay being wrong at 700. You know what I mean? Like, that's, for me, that's how I manage the risk aspect, because this thing might bounce back up and go to the next, right? This could, the MACD is, you can't always, it's kind of, things are turning bullish a little bit, kind of. So this trade, chasing this short, likely will not work. But I kind of had a feel, you just never know. That's why, risk is everything. I definitely don't love chasing like that, for sure. Definitely not like, it's just part of the game though. Like, sometimes you don't get the entry you want. So, if I'm going to take on a position, then if I know at least I'm aware of it. Like, I know I'm chasing, right? So that's more of my awareness. Like, when I took the short, I knew I was chasing. And I only did that because I didn't feel like we were going to get another opportunity, right? It rejected off that so fast that what were the chances of the market going right? I mean, again, I'm not saying I know that, but it just bounced off that 870 like nothing, right? So you're not always going to get the entry you want, right? It's just impossible. So as you can see, it came up right to that box, and it didn't even get above the 1 hour again. So that's where, like, sometimes when you get in these trades, you're aware that, okay, market tapped 4 hour GAN. The pullback didn't even get close yet. I mean, this thing could still revert. I'm just saying, look at it. It didn't even come back and test 858. So it's like, well, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it anyway, right? Now, eventually, I mean, today is just one of those weird days. That's where, you scalp. That was a good little scalp, right? Or, you hold on and, things are still bearish. So, but again, price is not testing these upper GANs right now, right? Like, you would like it to. Like, ideally, you'd love to see it come back and retest, right? It's nice to see the market come down, retest, but it doesn't, you don't always get your ideal setups, right? It just doesn't happen, So, hence why I knew this was a chasing trade, but I had my risk in the right spot. I was okay being wrong, you know what I mean? And the box is turned. And like I mentioned, it didn't even, so now we're playing, can the market get it down to 17? But see, now it's not even liking the short, generally, right? We're in this kind of weird in-between chop. So rejected the top and doesn't love the short right now. So it's kind of a, this is where it can just drive you crazy, right? Because you can be right but wrong. I mean, tough price action there. At least at these levels, we're at least we're aware, right? We know. That's what I love about it. Like, it could bounce off this 817. Like, just awareness, right? A lot of people in the trading world, like retail traders, they have no idea that this 817 was relative. They had no idea that 858 was a key level, and even this 857 was a pretty, right, the 1 hour. So a lot of people have no idea what the hell is going on, right? I mean, even I don't know why it bounces off these GAN levels. All I know is they're very useful to be aware of, right? They're not like magic as far as every time, but at least you can be aware of these key levels, right? I mean, I personally love it. Because before, you're fighting, and now now at least you understand, like, you have numbers to work with, right? That's what I love about the method. So then you can see, like even that short, let's see, it didn't even come down and hit 17, right, yet. It's like, so we could almost be like, you know what, this short isn't going to work because the market did not even come down at all, like, right? So that's where, like, okay, you know what, it didn't, it wasn't money, but it didn't even come down to that 817, 816. Not even close, right? Look at that. It didn't even try yet. So that's where the other day is a little trickier. That's, like I mentioned, certain days aren't going to be, like, yesterday was awesome. Today is just a trickier day. I don't know if this is the Fed, or if, as they call them, terrible Tuesdays, as they say. I don't know if I buy that, but this is a day where you have your levels dialed in, where you're just gonna take a couple losses. Now you can see the 30-second went long, or went bullish. So now we're gonna go back to 817. I don't know, but all I know is it didn't like coming down here so far yet. So we'll see. I don't love this long per se, but I'm more curious. I'm just curious to see if we can get back to 870. Where price kind of just failed. But maybe maybe this is going to be a pullback and go back down. Like, that's where you can see how it kind of came up here and bounced again. But I'm just trading out the boxes just for just right now, because we're just not getting much. Yeah, and we're in between levels, so this is definitely like a C trade, right? Like, we're not at even a 1 hour or a 4 hour again level, right? So we did bounce off, but again, this bounced off pretty quick. This came down, bounced off pretty quick. So it makes entries really, just today is a trickier day to get the entries that are good, right? Nice. That's smart, right? Just to get a feel for how they work. I'm on the 32nd. Oh, you're in a short, so okay. So you're fading. Cool. How does that look on the 1 minute? So on the 32nd, it's kind of pushing up a little bit. So the 1 minute might be bearish. I just went long because it came down and it got down to 821, and I was in the short, but it didn't even get close to 816, right? So it's like, I was up a good chunk, but then it's just snapped right back up. So then the 32nd went bullish, and so I'm like, okay, well, we're kind of in this limbo land where the market doesn't really like 870, and it doesn't like 816. So this is where you kind of get, either you just kind of scalp some levels because it's not giving you, it's just not, right? This is just a tougher day. Like yesterday was awesome. Today is a tougher day. It's just the way it works, right? Like, this action is just not very clean, right? You get these difficult moves at levels, and it just makes it hard. Yeah, that's why I've gone to 30 seconds too. I like 30 seconds for entries. And again, like I see, we're kind of in this limbo land where, literally the market could do anything. We always can, but like, it's not giving you a clear, it's just not at a good level, right, to be confident in. So yeah, I never have a preference if it goes, long or short, but I like it to be at a key level. But you can see how the MACD is bullish right now on the 1 minute. Not that that means a whole lot, but so you have two oscillators that are bullish. These are bullish. I mean, the boxes are bullish in the 30-second. And as we know, the order block is just been there all day, just blocking. So we don't, that's a bear. So you can see how it just, the market's not even getting up to the 1 hour GAN. So this 30-second might turn into a short, right? It's where it's tough. So these entries are never easy. So this is where you're like, oh, I'm going to be wrong again here, right? Because it's like, you can't get a good entry here. You can't get a good entry here. Now we're in the middle. So it's like, all right. That's just where it's tough. So you can see it just kind of bounced off. And yeah, definitely not an 8. There's nothing great about anything about this level, right? Which is fine. Like, having a tough day is just the way it goes, right? Because we know we're going to have killer days. Like yesterday was awesome. And then when you know the Fed's speaking, it's like, well, this is kind of like a learning day. Honestly, that's how I look at it. Because not every day is going to be like this awesome, sweet trend that just rockets and just makes it easy. Like, there's no clean sweep. You're just getting these weird jabs to levels. So it's just, at least for the way I trade, this is, for somebody else, maybe this is a killer day. But for me, in my system, this is like a tougher day. Because hard to get entries at the levels I like. And that's okay. I mean, that's part of it. Like when you have a system, it doesn't always work every day. So that's where, but when you're consistent, the days when it's right, you have killer GAN to GAN, right? So that's okay. Like for a day, like that's why I like, you got to pick what you do. You got to draw a line in the sand and follow your plan, right? Because if you just keep swapping around, again, you don't have to trade like this, but it just shows you there are days that just don't always line up for what works for your system. And that's, you have to be okay with that personally. And that's why I'm still in the green on my accounts, because I'm not, I'm okay taking a couple of lumps, and you know what, this day is not work. This does not work for how I trade, and then wait for the next day, right? So that's honestly, you can't be right every day, right? It's impossible. Anyone who trades, I don't know. I've seen some really good traders, and they're not right every day. So, and most people that say they're right all the time are just liars. So we all know that. Like, so it's easy to cherry pick. I try not to create too many YouTube videos that are just always positive, but I do have a lot of green days. I mean, a lot. So today I probably post a day of learning, because I was probably early in the overnight, but during the New York, right, it's been tougher. So now these boxes turn bearish again. So that's, expect that on an indicator on a choppy day. That makes sense, right? You're going to get bullish, bearish. It's just, because we already know that, right? We know these levels are tough. You're not getting a good entry to go long, and you didn't get a good entry to go short, unless you're waiting for that specific spot, right? Right here, there's nothing good about anything. Yet, anyway. So that's the fun part. Some days are just tricky. So now the bears are looking good. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to turn that off. So now we finally got a push down to that 817 almost. So GAN to GAN, but again, that entry was tough, right? So that's just the way it goes. And now it would be a chasing trade again, so I'm not loving it, but it did finally break down to 8. See, it's hitting this, like I told you, it's going to pause here, right? So it paused before, snapped up, and now it's right here just sitting here, right? It's just sitting at that GAN level. It's like just begging you to do something, right? I mean, the boxes are bearish. Order blocks are bearish, but, you know, it's just snapped up again, right? So it's tough to... But yeah, the boxes are still bearish at this level. I'm just going to see how the boxes can help us here. So someone could be short in theory, but now you're facing this 4-hour GAN level. But it could blow right through it. I mean, it's only 11:30. All right, yeah, see you, John. Take care. Yeah, kind of a weird day. So yeah, hitting the 817. Yeah, it didn't even hit that, right? So look, it just snaps right back up. See how I kind of mentioned, again, I didn't know 100%, but we knew it blew up. We knew it, cruised up past 817, and now it's retesting this level again. So you just know this level's point of interest, right? That's what I love about GAN levels. Yeah, nothing magical, but it gives you an area, right? So, if you're bullish, right, you would go long because it's close to this level, and then your stop would be right underneath it, right underneath that level. So if you're wrong, you're wrong. But so far, it's been snapping up from this level here. It could just, you never know, but today is just one of those weird days, with the Fed and everything. So maybe it's just going to sell off, right? The boxes are actually bearish, but again, we're not getting any. I haven't heard of them. Okay, yeah, I mean they're not really taught this way. People don't. There is not really much content about GAN levels trading like this that I've ever seen. I learned it from a trading guy, a really good trader at Blue Sky. And so I mean you won't. You can look at the mathematics behind it. GAN was a genius, and I should look at how they're created. But basically, these levels come from GAN of 144. So if you don't want to have them automatically plotted like mine, if this comes on here, I thought I clicked on it, maybe I did. Yeah, so there you go. So what you can do is I'll go to a 4-hour chart, right? So I'll go to a 4-hour chart if I was going to do it manually. And you can see where my lines cross. So let me turn these off for now. This trade might come against me because I'm doing this thing. But you basically come up here, and it's pretty easy, obviously. So wherever these dotted lines cross, oops, I want to make that white. So yeah, wherever it crosses, you just plot lines to give you levels. Hence why I like automated, honestly. But so then you have these levels lined up. Then when you go back to the whatever chart you're on, then you remove this thing. So then it gives you levels, right? So you can see how when I draw them manually, they're not as good as the automatic ones are better than my manual. So anyway, that's how you can draw them that way. I maybe wasn't as precise drawing them the way I was a little lazy. But again, you can draw them manually, and you can get probably. I'm curious. That should have been. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see if I can get that. Well, either case, you can know how to draw them. It's pretty slick. So I love drawing. I mean, I love the GAN lines myself, and that's how I trade every day. I make my decisions how price is going to react near a GAN line, and then, ideally, you have other tools too. Like I love my boxes to help manage the trades. So as you can see on the, I got in a little earlier because, again, it came down here to, it paused here, and then it kind of paused here. So for me, a low risk opportunity, low risk, high reward, that you can get it. You get an entry, and then it might not hold. That's why I'm going to move my stop, because I don't know if this is a weird day, but I'm going to move my stop up. So I got a good entry. That's all I care about, right? I got my entry near the GAN level. Everything kind of turned bullish a little bit. So I got a good entry near a 4 hour GAN line. And then I don't know if it's going to go back up to the other GAN. I mean, but like I said, price has a way of, you can see how it comes back. Today is kind of a weird day. But a lot of times you do get GAN, you get awesome GAN to GAN trades a lot of times during the, And I might have been aggressive on my stop, but I just don't love the price action today. What's this doing on a 15 minute? It might be bullish still. Yeah, so then even on a 15, you got kind of a order block that's kind of sitting there. But yeah, you can see where I could have scalped, So if you're a scalper, that's how you can use these levels. Like, you don't always have to go from GAN to GAN. If you get in, if you make the profit that you like, you can get out. Like I was up a good chunk, like 600 or so. So again, you can scalp these levels if if you're really good at being patient. So now we're kind of in between. So for me, if I jumped on, even though my box is green, it's a little bit of a chaser. I like my entries near the GAN levels, not away from them. But if you're chasing, then you're chasing, and then your risk is going to be probably near this swing low. But we all know there's a lot of resistance up here. But on a Fed day like this, it just feels weird. Like the price action just feels a little bit different than a normal day to me. So like, this isn't a day. That's why I'm in demo. I already hit my target. That's why, even though I probably could keep trading live, I don't want to, because I don't like this price action. But I come on here to show people how I like the GAN levels, honestly. That's why I come on. Not necessarily to make $1,000 off on a demo account. Is just to and just to look how the levels, how price reacts to these levels, right? Because I want more retail traders to be aware of these levels. I just think it makes life, your trading journey, all that just easier once you're aware of where you should be right and where you should be wrong. So yeah, you're getting it's a little bullish here, but right, it's just not. Just like I said, this price action is just not what I love. Like, it's just kind of a boring day, honestly. Yesterday was awesome. If you watched my video yesterday, oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, later on in the day, I was taking a bunch of dumb trades on demo, but the right near the open, we caught that awesome move up, and then we were done. So I like to catch, 2 really good trades, maybe even one, and be done. And even at work today, I didn't like it because it's right at the open, but really it gave us a good entry. Right here, we were sitting right here with everything green. It pushed right through it. So that was honestly then this ugly chop. Then it pushes through. Then it goes and taps this level here, and then we've just been in consolidation basically. So it's like the best moves already happened for the way I trade, in a way. Minus, again, today was kind of a trickier day. Yeah, and so now it's not even, it's kind of like bouncing around, but it'd be nice to see if you can at least get back to the 1 hour Gann level. It tried to earlier, snap down, and then of course we saw it just hit the Gann level and snapped right up. But then now, of course, right, NQ in good fashion is just tricking, it's faking people out. And 1 second wants to make you think you're going south, snaps up. Now, so then, right, you think it's going north. Now it's snapping back down. So this is where, that's why I don't love trading in between these levels. I just threw it on the trade just to see if the boxes were going to help. But as you can see, on a day like this, when it consolidates, there's not really an indicator that's amazing at helping you with chop. The only indicator you have to help you with chop is your mind to say, don't trade this garbage, right? That's the best indicator you got, is just looking at this and be like, this is a day just to kind of watch, Or if you had your profit, you're done. You're not even messing with this kind of stuff. And that's, again, the other evolution of trading a live account is either if you're wrong a couple times, you're done, or if you're up, you're done, and then just watching, right? Not trading this kind of just like the moves are just kind of dumb, That was a good little scab up there, but then didn't really hold. Then I short down, didn't hold. So I don't know. And again, I don't know how long the Fed speaks, how long that is. Obviously something's going on because price really isn't doing anything, right? It's not doing, there's nothing going on. This is like nothing. For NQ, this is like garbage. That's all right. We know that it has to consolidate, right? That's just the way it is. It's just ready. You got to be ready for when it is going to do something. That's all right. That's half the game. Wait back in a second. Wally. Wally. You want to let the dog out? Yeah, that's what I get for walking away. Everything turned bearish, but so I would have got out of that earlier, but I left. Should have come back earlier. So yeah, there you go. It turned, flipped on me, but I was not even looking at the computer. So look at that. Didn't even get to 857. And then, it came right down through 817. I mean, it's beautiful. If I was here, look at that, lower low. Look at that. Didn't even get tapped here. 2 tries, almost 3 tries to, 3 tries to get to not even the 1 hour. And then just tanks, right? I mean, total chasing here. Missed, but the entry would have been likely, the entry would have been, right at 820, 828 would have been the entry, right? So that the boxes, that would have been an awesome trade there. And now I'm just, you do like micros or something where your risk could be, pretty, it wouldn't be too bad if you're, on a pullback. If the market, I think that's on 3 minis, but so obviously if the market gets above 817, then right, you're wrong. But if it holds under 817, then this is definitely a decent trade idea for me anyway. The way I like to trade. I'm not saying it's going to magically hold. It could, but a lot of times it does. Right, it broke through that key level. And we'll see if we get a move here. But yeah, honestly, my entry would have been at that box. So you're way better entry than what I just got, and way better. But I was taking my dog out, right, buddy? So I don't love to show chasing trades, but So that's cool about these boxes now. If this short continues, we'll see if it does. You'll see these box trail. So if you're on a 30-second, you can move to a 15, and so you can just move your stop down and trail it, and you're making sure. So if you're in if you got in, you'd be locking in profit and just trail it down. Or you can, if you're more of a higher risker, if you like the whole trade's longer, then you'll see this 30-second box. It's going to have to make a bigger move before it starts moving, right? So you can see how awesome your entry would have been on that 30-second box. Yeah, boring day, man. I'm glad you didn't. If you didn't trade today, all the best for you. If you didn't trade today, but as we all know, the second we say it's boring, then NQ all of a sudden ramps up. That's right. Almost every time, I'm like, oh shit, what a boring ass day, and then that's like the kiss of death, because then you just basically, NQ loves to just prove you wrong. Like it will. The second you say something right, you call it out, you'll immediately disprove your, what you were thinking. At least I found NQ loves to try to prove me wrong all the time, right? I'm just trying to stay alive as I trade it. So yeah, that's what's beautiful about the box. So your entry, is way up here, right? 820. Your entry would have been probably 828, and you can see how the box is starting to trail. But yeah, your entry would have been awesome with the box. My trade that's chasing, still confident, but not as, because we know how these pullbacks on NQ can just be nasty. It can just wick up and just, right, you know those wicks. I mean, NQ's wicks are just brutal. But then it can pay you. So when you're right with NQ, it's beautiful. We all know that. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's why we trade it. Because you just have to be, if you're patient enough, it will pay you. Versus if you're aggressive with it, it punishes you. That's what I found anyway. Most markets are like that anyway. I mean, they're all the same. It's NQ just tends to be the wicks. Just because when I've quoted the indicators, it's just the wicks make it really difficult to code. I was able to code these boxes, but coding like logic for a buy and sell indicator that's always profitable, it's almost impossible with NQ because these wicks are just so freaking impossible. So you can see if you're in, you'd be trailing using this box now. So you'd be coming down, right? You're in profit by a lot versus my, I mean, it's just these boxes are awesome. I love these boxes. I mean, I love gain the most, but I do love these boxes. I'm telling you, just for me, I love trading them. Especially when the market starts trending, right? I just love it. I don't love them during chop because, well, all indicators suck during chop. But when you get on the right side of the market and when you're managing your trade, oh, it's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who loves chop. I mean, that's just, I don't know. There might be an indicator that can do chop. I don't know of one. Besides your head telling you to avoid it. Excuse me. So look at this. I mean, again, nothing magical. The price happened to stop at a 1 hour again and stop. Now again, it can blow through it. It doesn't, right? But look at that. It tapped it right on the nose and stalled. I mean, it's crazy. And again, it's not done. It's going to do whatever it wants, but it tapped it and stopped. That's why I love the game. I mean, it just gives you, again, you could take off, there's different levels. This is where you can scalp and take off. It gives you ideas where to take profit. Or if you tend to be an aggressive trader, you keep moving your stop down. Like as you can see here, so you'd be moving your stop at the top of this box here. So you just locked in. If you're in at 828, I mean, look at that profit. You're in 828, and look what the profit you'd have. I mean, this thing is, obviously I'll move mine to, it won't be as good, but that's why these boxes are awesome. Again, you can join our group if you want. I mean, and yeah, if anyone wants to learn GAN, cool. You know what I mean? I love our trading group. We have an awesome community. Honestly, I love the guys in our group are awesome. Everyone's positive, trying to make it, and doing it the right way, following the process. But you don't obviously if people like the GAN, I'll teach people. You don't have to technically join, but we love you in our Discord, sharing ideas. We have an awesome Discord where we're sharing ideas. I have 3 new indicators coming out in the next couple of weeks. Plus, we have an awesome NQ strategy that, with one contract, we've done forward testing on it. It does pass like a 50K eval with Top Step or any of the most popular prop firms. But yeah, with one contract, it will pass it, and that's just, it's like almost on automation in a way. Like it's a strategy, right? So it's pretty awesome, and it's using the box logic, so that will be available to help people. So that is coming to people that are in the group. if they need help passing evals. But then hopefully we get to the point where we're growing accounts, right? Even passing evals are fun, but I think growing accounts with the right process is better. Getting payouts from legitimate firms, not scammers, right? You put all this work in, make sure you're worth a good prop firm that pays out. There's so many scammy ones out there. Right? I've had a lot of friends, lost money with my Forex funds, Surge, Fast Track. So, but yeah, seriously, I'll probably keep it at $47 a month. I know that. I don't know, because I just want to get like 100 people. That's kind of like my range that I want to work with. After that, it gets to be kind of too hard. So, I have the special set where it's $47 a month for the first 100. But honestly, probably 100. I wouldn't be surprised if I just shut it off, because that's a lot of people to support. 100 people. And the fact that I do onboarding, like I'll jump on calls pretty much with anyone, anytime. After the market, of course. It's just not sustainable after a certain amount, right? We already have 8 people now, which is awesome, and I hope they stay. And it's not me. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I love our little group. The people that email me every day, want help. I'm telling you. I'm growing accounts with Tradeify right now, and Puridia and Blue Sky. So, I love it personally. But if someone doesn't want to pay the $47 a month, they can email me, and I'll teach them how to do GAN as much, within reason, right? I can't spend hours, but if someone doesn't want to join, I'll do my best to help anyone that wants to learn it. But all the better if they want to, jump on and be part of the group. We have an awesome Discord. Awesome people, seriously, like really cool people that aren't like just, I don't know. We found a really good space. Honestly, I've learned a lot from Justin at Simple Market Matrix. He is probably the nicest guy in this space. If you guys have never used this indicator, it's an awesome indicator. I've used it for a lot, but I just prefer GAN levels. I still might go back to these on occasion, but look at this. So you have, it taps again, pauses again. Now we're tapping another GAN. So this entry was tough, but you see the theory of it. GAN to GAN. That is a killer. But I chased this one, but see, when you have confidence that it didn't hold 817, you can put on a small risk trade and catch. I didn't get all the GAN, but look, I pretty much caught GAN to GAN. That's the way I trade. I know. Dude, I'm telling you, dude. GAN levels are the way to trade. I can't tell. It's amazing. Look at this. You can see on the 1 hour in the morning, it told you to go long at my boxes with the GAN. It told you to go long here. So you got 1 hour GAN to this GAN. I'm just like, seriously, guys, when you do it enough, and you start to love trading more and more. Like, I already love trading, but when you add GAN with it, I honestly, that's why I do this. I love GAN trading. That's why, yeah, seriously, I love it. I should just be a GAN, but also I do like indicators that help, right? I'm an indicator junkie to some degree. I don't like going from indicator to indicator, but I like indicators that support what my main core thing is: GAN and order blocks, right? And then everything after that is built to support that, those trading ideas. That's why I love these boxes, because it helps me get good entries. And it's too bad I was taking my dog out for a walk. I swear that's what happens in Q. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go do something. Yeah, that's, nothing's ever perfect, right? Every LP ducks, right? But I love the boxes. It really helps, honestly. So I have a free trial right now. Try them out. Join for a week. You won't pay anything. It's a free trial for a week. You know what I mean? I'm not going to plug my thing that much. I don't need to. I have 8 people right now. I'd like to get to 100, but at the same time, I don't care. I'm making money. You know, I love GAN trading. And I learned it from the guys at Blue Sky, who are a legitimate prop firm. So I wanted to share this with as many people as I can. And even if people don't enjoy it, I don't care. Email me. We'll just jump on a screen share. Or I'll send you a video. Or you can teach me. Maybe you have stuff that I'm missing, right? I mean, I'm not saying I know everything. All I know is I love these levels. Now the idea is, how do I get better at the confirmation side? Because, you know, as if you saw earlier on, like that long here was tricky, right? This price action, right, during the market right up here, right? This shit stuff, well, I don't have to draw, you can see it. Like, all this was brutal, right? But then, if you're patient enough, GAN starts paying you. You just have to, like, you know, if you do trade this garbage, you just be smart about it. You take a couple of lumps, maybe scalp a little bit, and then, you know, if you're able to, like, get past this garbage and catch the long, cool. But then now you can see, eventually, you are going to get paid with NQ. If you're patient enough and you're a level trader, you will get paid. It will reward you for your patience, and you won't have to force it. It's just the way it works. So, I mean, that's why, yeah, just sign up for a week, try the boxes out, try my auto-plotted GAN lines. And if you don't like it, no worries, right? Who cares? If it doesn't work for you. But we have an awesome community. So, I love it. I'm grateful for them. And maybe there's no one new on. I don't know. I don't even know. But, I mean, look how awesome this is. So this is where, you know, you don't need to be greedy or anything. You just take off a couple. You know, you already caught a full GAN level. So, you know, you take off a couple, lock in a freaking massive profit, and you're just going to move your stop down with the box. So, I love it. I'm telling you, seriously, I love trading. I knew I liked trading, but it wasn't until I found the right tools to help me. Now, again, all this is free. That's what's so cool about GAN levels. Like, you don't have to pay for it. But I paid a programmer to plot it for me, a lot of money. So that's where people, if they want to use, I mean, they can pay a programmer to have, if they want to. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to plot them, go out and find a good programmer and have them, like, auto do it. But, you know, that's where I figure, you know, $47 a month, you get this, plus the boxes, plus some other, I mean, I have some awesome indicators coming up, plus the NQ strategy. I mean, to me, especially if you're a crypto trader, the box is destroy crypto and oil. NQ is probably the toughest one, like I said, because of the wicks. And it does decent, but crypto, it destroys. If you ever, like, try it out on crypto on the weekend, it's just amazing. And if I could find, like, a legitimate prop firm that does crypto, I would join it in a second, but I don't really know of one. There's like Lark, there's a few of them out there, but I don't trust any sim accounts. I don't care what it says on Payout Junction. You know, I don't care. Like, Payout Junction. So if you come up here, you'll have these groups that are major payouts, right? So you do all time. You've probably seen this site, but oh, look, there's Tradeify. I love Tradeify. They're legit. So anyway, all time though. Finning pips. I mean, 79 million. I mean, they might be legit, but I think it's sim. My fund of futures could be legit. I honestly don't know. I don't know anyone personally that's had a payout from them. I've heard weird things about these guys. I don't know about them. I know Fivers is legit, but I don't know if they do US traders right now. Tradeify is legit. 16 million all time. One of one all sim. How the hell are? But they're up here. Yeah. So, but if you trade, I know you're saying you can do Bitcoin futures, but they don't move that well. Like I'll show you. It's weird. If you here, I'll show you. I mean, you maybe have seen it, but I just don't like the way the futures don't move that great. I don't think, the way I see it, and I've experienced it. Because like you'll put on a trade and you're down like $200. The spread on them is just I just don't like it. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention here. So let's see here. We need to do futures. So if you're on here, see, look at it. I don't like it. You know, and I guarantee you, if you put on a position, you're down like $300 or whatever, like instantly. So until they get that worked out, I'm not going to trade it. Like, this is just, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, the boxes kill it. But once this, I don't know, it's just, you know what I mean? I just don't love it. And maybe one day I'll get there. Did I do the wrong? Yeah, I could try to look at micro. Again, I don't love the price action. So this is February. We're going to March. I mean, are they still in February? It's weird. Maybe they are still on. Maybe they're on Feb. I don't know. Maybe it's different. The volume still doesn't look that great. I mean, it's just ugh. Now, if you move it to Higanashi, it looks a little better. But it's still pretty. Yeah, the boxes do so well with Bitcoin though. So let's just. It probably won't let me trade it. Yeah, because I'm on the doing that challenge thing with TradingView. But yeah, you can trade. You're right. You can trade Bitcoin, and the boxes do so awesome with this. I mean, it's just amazing. So yeah, but I think the spread, once the spread gets better, like I can't wait for Bitcoin to be more tradable asset, because it's just so technical. So for technical indicators that respect, just. I mean, NQ can do it. NQ is just too emotional, right? I do like it, but it's very emotional versus Bitcoin is really moves with just solid. Doesn't have the crazy wicks typically. I mean, there can be, right? We all know at certain times of the day, at the open and stuff, like Bitcoin can go crazy too, right? I'm not saying it doesn't have its challenges and where you can, if you know what you're doing with it, but overall, though, during just a typical session, Bitcoin, these boxes destroy Bitcoin. It's really fun. You have to try it on the weekend. At least I enjoy it. I do a lot of, like, if you go back to my videos, I'm on here all the time messing around with Bitcoin, just the regular, because it just moves so much better, right? It's just, and we all know, like, the futures is just wonky, but you get to where it just moves the way it should. At least the way I like it. I mean, you would have got in. Look how much profit you're in. So this is on a 30-second chart. You're getting in way up here, and look at that. You just destroyed it. I mean, freaking destroyed it. I guarantee you, he's probably. I mean, seriously, like today you would have just destroyed Bitcoin with the boxes. I mean, that's the thing. I'd love to get more crypto people using it, just because I think it would help them a ton. But crypto futures, don't. It's just the spread just kills you. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Actually, I'm curious, like on oil though. No, even oil does. Although I don't love futures on oil, but like if you just look at a regular oil chart, maybe today is a little wonky. Oh, stupid. So it's having to go long here. So you'd be a little in the profit right now, longing from 7:30 to So I mean, yeah, I do like oil with it. Gold is interesting too. Yeah, gold. I mean, any asset that has good volatility, the boxes can do pretty well with for good entries. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully, you guys just want to try a free trial for the week. Just try it out. If you want to. I love them. I love the boxes. ES. Let's see how I was doing on ES. Yeah, so there you go. You have a good, awesome entry on ES. You would have shorted it around 86, and then according to this box, you would have locked in profit at 75. So then you're done, right? You caught that nice short, and you're done. So it's telling you to go long, but you are. I don't have this up, but I'm sure NQ. It's probably telling you to go long too, but I don't like to flop around too much. Once you get a good trend, kind of call it. So you can see, I chased this thing, but I'll move my stop pretty close to the box. I already took off a huge chunk, you know what I mean? So now it's just with 3 minis, so that's not crazy. If you have if you have like a 150K account with Top Step or with Tradeify or any, like 3 micros isn't too bad. I mean, because when you're wrong, you're down maybe 1,500, most 2,000, but that's a big. So obviously you wouldn't want to do a full stop on that, but you can definitely do 3 minis on if you have a good size account with a prop firm. And look, it was over 4K, 5K that you made, on a really, and I was even chasing. If you would have gone in up here where it told you to, like this 828 level, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's freaking awesome. So, yeah. That is trading GANs with boxes, my friends. That's why I love trading. Minus wading through some of that garbage chop. But, yeah, that's just, everything has the downside. Nothing's, we all know if you watch NQ enough, you're going to catch some sweet moves, as long as you're not, too aggressive with it. You're humble about it. You're not, I used to post like, well, you guys know I was with UProfit, right? So I'd have like these 30K days, and they banned me because they didn't want to pay me out, or whatever. And I had one day where I was a little on tilt, and so I was getting stopped out like within seconds, and so they used that logic to not pay me out, because I made a request for like 3K because I was up like 65K in an account or 70, something like that, and they're like, nope, you micro scalped one day. They emailed me and said, hey, you got to stop that behavior. So I did. The next day I came in and killed it. 70K, or not 7, like I had like a 6 or 7K day, and they're like, no, we don't want to pay you, and just banned me from Discord, just cut me off from everything. I didn't, I had one bad session out of that whole month I was with them when I was building the account up. So I'm like, F you guys. You don't want a real trader? Yeah, I had a bad session, right? I had a rough day, right? And I'm learning not to go on tilt more, but I'm emotional, so I had a rough time. And then the next day I fixed it, So it's crazy to me that they'd want to ban someone. The only reason I could think of is they didn't want to pay me out. And you look on pay, where is UProfit? I mean, I know Blue Sky's on here, but they also use Gusto. But where is UProfit on here? Where? I've never heard of one payout from those guys. You have Lark here. See, Lark does Bitcoin, but again, it's all sim. So if you go to like Lark, maybe they're legit. I don't know. But when you go there, make money from demo. No way. no hidden rules, blah, blah, blah. How are they making money? You mean, like, what the hell? Why can't they do live accounts? If they're so confident in their thing, then do real money. No demo. Sorry, that's BS. So screw that. That's why I like Tradeify and Puridia and Blue Sky. You get real accounts. But, maybe someone is getting paid out, and if they're getting payouts, cool. Then if someone can prove to me legitimately they're getting a payout, I'll try it out. But until then, no way. So I'm almost done here, but you can see how, look at price. It bounced off the 1 hour, 733. The boxes told you to go long at 734. So I do love, sometimes when price just starts moving, you can catch some really good scalps going up and down. Look at it double bounced on the 1 minute chart off that 1 hour GAN, 1 hour GAN, blew through that key number on the 4 hour. Hell of a scalp there. So you can see how you'd be long right here, and then your box is just trailing. That's why you got to take profit. Like, you're in this short, and then you take profit, right? So you guys know that. It's just you also need good trade management, right? You can't be too greedy. You catch these nice big trends. Well, look at that bounce. So you could have got paid here, and now you're getting paid here. So anyway, hopefully one of you guys, or a few of you, just join this week just to try it out. You have nothing to lose. I grant you access within seconds to the two main, I have like 6 main indicators, but basically the two main ones are the auto plot for the GAN, and then the obviously the boxes, but then I have a sentiment indicator coming out to help avoid the chop. It's tricky though, because I trade on a short time frame, so the sentiment indicator goes from bullish to bearish to neutral all the time. So I'm still working out to make that. I'm working with a good friend of mine. He's an awesome coder, to see if we can make it just a little bit better, more useful, I should say. And then I do have an AI signal indicator that works with the boxes, but again, I want it to be smarter, so it doesn't give you so many false signals. I want it to be a little more reliable. Of course, there'll always be false signals, but I want it to be where we can really get the win rate at least 50% or higher. The profit factor close to 2. That way, it's no guarantee, but it will help you pass the firm. But honestly, I love trading the boxes manually. I don't need, when I have a level like the GAN, then I have the boxes, I don't really need a buy and sell indicator, right? It's not, I wouldn't call it insulting, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't need a stupid little buy button. I can read the chart. Like, I know a price action. It's at a level I like. Like, I know what to do, right? But, some people that are newer like to see the buy and sell. I get it. It's just, the only thing that I don't like about it is a lag. For me to put the logic in for it to be reliable means that you won't get as good of entries, but, that's part of it too, right? If you want more confirmation, the downside is that you won't get the best entry, but then it can also avoid some bad trades too. So there's always a double-edged sword, right, with indicators. But when you're trading off GAN and in a 30-second box, you can snipe in some pretty good entries, right? And you're not going to take too much heat a lot of times, minus as we've talked about before, avoiding chop. So, but that's just, I provide what indicator doesn't get sliced in half during sessions of chop. So, you could take Lux Algo, you could probably even take quant views. There is no indicator that will look good when the price, like all the EMAs, they just get sliced in pieces, right? Just mine does. The boxes get sliced, but that's all right. Then you wait for your levels. You wait for the price to start acting the way you like it, and then you activate your plan, right? So anyway, unless anyone else has any questions, yeah, I'd love to have you guys join us. But no worries if you just want to learn GAN or even talk about GAN, email me. I mean, otherwise, yeah, I will probably hop off here. That's a long time for me to talk about GAN and probably boring you guys to death. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.